And I'm not knocking DC or anything that because they had some amazing one-offs with like Superman and
I
all
feel
that.
like
But
they've done it a lot in their animation.
oh my gosh, I wish Marvel would be able to do that because the animation that DC has done, because there's a lot of stories you can't tell live action. You just can't.
Yes.
And DC has nailed a bunch of those
So
with
good.
animation, and you don't have to worry about actors aging out or
Right.
anything like that. You
Mhm.
can just tell the story over
Mhm.
20 years or whatever you want, and the voices are there.
Yeah.
And I love what DC has done with their animation.
Yeah, and I always say that's always the like bone that I give to DC. Like their live action universe might be in shambles, but their animation department has been on point since like I was 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It is. And they
yeah.
keep doing it. Like
Mhm.
I don't know how they can't translate that to live action. I can't fathom that, but it really is. One of my favorites is the Death and Life of Superman.
Yeah.
I can't fathom how they would do that as a live action. I just can't.
Well,
And to see them do it in animation is awesome.
Well, I have to look at like stories like The Killing Joke
Mhm.
and
Yep.
like things like that are like dark.
Yeah.
Like
Yep, yep,
Hush,
yep.
even, you know,
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like these Batman stories are super awesome, and these are like some of the most like powerful Batman stories there ever have been. And you're telling me that you can't find somebody that can tell an awesome like direct a Killing Joke, you know what I mean, or like direct a Hush. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to tell a different story. Just give me this, and just bar for bar. Like you could literally just take all the panels off the like book, and I would be fine with that. And I think that's where you get kind of lost in the DC world, is where they're trying to start telling this new thing with all of the same characters that we love. But I think you got to get some more fan love in there first before you start just being like, here's 3 Suicide Squad movies that no one asked for.
And I think that's part of the problem. And James and I talked a bit about this on a video about box office bombs, is executives.
Mm-hmm.
They just see money and dollar signs. So they're like, we have all these DC characters. Why aren't we creating this huge franchise where we're just going to bring in $1 billion like Marvel? And it's like, fans know you got to tell a good story. And obviously DC has kind of learned that, because you can't just throw out a movie and be like, oh, they'll go see it. It's like, no, we won't. It's got to be a good story. And you have, for DC, almost 100 years of stories that you can pull from, but yet they don't seem to do that. They seem to want to create originals, and it's like, I don't care. I don't want that.
Or like broken versions of stories.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, because you look at like even the Robert Pattinson Batman, like the standalone stuff that they're doing is great, like the Joker. I don't know what is the translation that's missing here between these standalone stories that are working really well and them trying to tell one that can cohesively exist.
I feel like it has to do with those are almost what ifs.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the Joker. We get that, but what if?
Right.
Cool. I'll go watch it. It's not tied to this.
That's cool.
Batman, the Matt Reeves ones. Yeah. That's almost a what if, and it doesn't exist within this universe that they're tying together. But when you try and combine them all together, they're like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't somehow pick good stories. We just have to show flashy characters, your baby shower thing that from the Flash. It's like, no, we can't screw it up. Forget it.
Yeah. And so far they've done nothing but screw it up. But I'm interested with Aquaman being released. That was their biggest, besides I think the Justice League, maybe I think that's their biggest winner.
I want to say that was even, I thought that was their biggest box office draw.
Might be.
Even more than Justice League. I feel like, because it just doesn't sound right, but I think that's what the numbers were.
Can Jason Momoa save the DC universe? That's
no, because it's already dead. I mean, it's at least not as Aquaman, because he's not coming back as Aquaman. It's rumored he's going to be Lobo, but
interesting.
It's funny that they're even still trying, because we all know that universe is gone. Like, that doesn't exist. Why
didn't they use Flashpoint? Like, why didn't they use the Flash movie to just do Operation Flashpoint, reset everything, and try again? I understand it's only been like 5 years, since you tried to put all this together. But if it's not working and you want to continue with some of these characters, you should have just done an Operation Flashpoint and called it good. You have the story. The story's written. You know what I mean? Like,
but I feel like that's where the executives came in. They're like, if this movie hits, Snyderverse exists. If this movie doesn't, we'll start over. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, so you didn't plan. You
Right.
literally did not plan ahead that if it does fail, then we could still use this
Right.
and reset,
Hmm.
but you didn't. So now we have, unfortunately, Blue Beetle and Aquaman that come after it, and they're
Right.
dead issues because
Right.
the story's not going to affect anything that happens in the future, even if it's a great movie.